Alright, I have now clicked it. It is now streaming. Should it be streaming? Yeah, it's streaming. So, hello everybody!
Hello.
We are The Table Candle.
Candle.
And happy Halloween. It's like Thursday is Halloween this year. But this is when we meet.
And this is the closest we can come to Halloween, so.
And it's just me and Tim this time. And I am running the shindig for our Halloween episode, Deadlight. Now, I have given Tim, Jane, I hope you know that Jane is currently watching us from afar at her parents' house. So
we have at least one watcher.
She'll be answering any questions and commenting on everything in the chat because I can't really take a look while I'm here because the computer's all the way over there. All I've done is given Tim a character sheet, and this adventure is actually based on Kruggsmashs' recent video called Skullhorror. So you should go. We left a link to his channel in the description, so go check him out. He plays Dwarf Fortress. Swell bastard he is. Now, he calls his followers "you bearded bastards." I love it, but it's only loosely based on it. And like the basic setting, some characters and some other stuff. But let's get started. Your character is named Bombwreck. And I don't have the full character's name, but your character's name is Bombwreck. And you've been sent to the south. You are a... tell us about your character. You had some time to sit down to tell us your character, why he has been sent on a boat by himself with just a bit of provisions, just enough to get here and back to... Nightlight Outpost.
He is the only son of one of the 5 High Councilmen of the Dwarvens. What were they?
Hingariba.
Of Hingariba. The only son of one of the High Councilmen. Therefore, he is the only one there to succeed his father should something happen to his father. Unfortunately, Bombwreck is anything but ready to step in as a High Councilman. He is a drunken, lazy, stupid lout, essentially. He is small by Dwarven standards and fat by Dwarven standards. His life's ambition, essentially, is to visit every watering hole in... was it Havrig?
Hingariva.
In Hingariva, and try every form of tobacco in Hingariva. And with those goals in mind, he's actually pretty well accomplished. Because he is a very well accomplished drinker and smoker. He is not well liked by any of his peers. He is considered slow. He is considered lazy. And he really doesn't care that he is considered slow, considered lazy, and considered worthless. His father, on the other hand, is very concerned. His father has decided that the only way that Bombwreck, who is called by his peers often the Wreck, and the only way that Bombwreck can possibly take up the mantle of essentially being a dwarven prince is he's going to have to prove himself, or he's going to have to die in the attempt. And his father at this point has decided that Bombwreck is better off dead than the way he is currently, because as he is, he's completely worthless to the dwarven people. So his father has sent him on this quest to prove himself or die trying. Bombwreck is not doing this of his own choice. He's being forced into it, and he is none too happy about it.
Of course. Because that's just the kind of thing. I've just discovered I do have a phone, and I have like 20% battery, so I can listen. So I can like monitor the chat. So arrive.
So we've got a slow, stupid, lazy
lout
of a dwarf
who's been sent by the High Council to go essentially retrieve what they call the research at Nightlight Outpost because something was going on there. You were kind of in a drunken stupor at the time.
He doesn't even really know what he's doing.
You're pretty drunk at the time, but you're pretty sure they said something about like orange goo. Something about orange goo, and your wisdom is actually. You know what? Let's do this. I want you to do a wisdom check, pure wisdom check on what you remember the council actually saying. You do have, all you know is orange goo, get research. I'll tell you more depending on what you roll. It was an 11.
So he doesn't know very much. He got so it's a 13. He probably
13,
doesn't know very much.
Although this is commoner, so checks are a little bit lower. A 13, actually that's spooky. That's spooky, isn't it? It's a spooky number, 13. That's a spooky number.
Yeah.
You know what? Just because it's a spooky number, you actually know a bit more than that. It's like something about orange goo. They arrived in the south and they saw some kind of weird new kind of monster
Well,
that was there.
He doesn't like that part.
He doesn't like that.
The part about the monster is really the main thing he remembers and the main thing he doesn't like. And currently, what Balmrak is doing is sitting on the boat feeling very sorry for himself. And he's pissed because they gave him provisions, but among all the provisions that they gave him plenty of food, they gave him plenty of water, they gave him blankets.
Alcohol. They did give him alcohol.
They gave him blankets, they gave him pillows. They did not give him alcohol.
They did not give him alcohol.
Because his father figured if he was given alcohol, that rather than going and accomplishing the quest, he'd simply lay there and be drunk.
All right.
And his father was completely right because that is exactly...
Do you have smokes?
No.
Okay.
Does not have smokes.
You don't have smokes, you don't have anything.
No, his father is trying to rid him of all of this, all of this terrible weakness that seems to be the only thing that his son has.
All right.
So he is currently laying and sitting in the boat, feeling very sorry for himself.
Okay, this is the part where I give you a d6.
Mm.
You have to roll that twice whenever you make a roll until you get alcohol and smokes. Because you're not focused. You're absolutely not focused at all.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this though. If you succeed in a roll, you succeed at your flaws and overcome them.
Okay.
But it's either until you are able to curve it or you succeed. Alright? And that's how you will overcome your flaws. You also have failure as a flaw because you accidentally let somebody die once. That was in the bar fight. He was your bud. He was your only friend too.
It wasn't really accidental either. It was more the fact that Balmrak cared more about the mead that was in his hand than about the fight that was going on.
But he felt really bad about it afterwards. That's why it's a flaw.
Yeah, he felt really bad about it, but he has rationalized it to the point that he realizes there's nothing that he could have done about it, because the two guys that were fighting his friend, that if he would have stepped in and tried to aid his friend, he would have simply joined his friend being dead as well, because Balmrak realizes that he can't fight, and he couldn't fight then, and he was drinking and enjoying his drinking, and he thought that he was at the time that he was doing the best he could by cheerleading for his friend, and egging him on and giving him encouragement. It didn't go as planned because his friend ended up dead.
Jane is now online. She's Jane Zelda. I just made her a moderator.
Mm.
All right.
So he feels very bad about it, but he's also rationalized to himself that there's absolutely nothing he could have done differently to have created a different outcome. So he's not only a loser in everybody else's head, he's a loser in his own head.
I like it. So you arrive on the continent, and it's a bit of a trek, and you trek there. It's snowy, it's cold, it's a tundra. It's not really ice, it's a tundra. And as you make your way to the spot that's...
let's make a roll here first. Let's see if he does make his way. Does he leave the boat?
Does he leave the boat?
Not good rolls. It looks like he's sitting in the boat complaining and feeling sorry for himself. He got a 3 and a 1.
A 3 and a 1, but you roll a d20 as well. So whatever you roll for the d6s, you subtract from your roll on the d20.
Ooh. He got a 4 on the d20.
Ooh, so he technically got a 1.
Yeah, he's sitting in the boat complaining, feeling sorry for himself.
He sits
looking at the snow.
Looking at the snow,
moaning, moping, complaining. And wondering that if a dwarven statue would look good here on the shore, because he's sure that that's what his destiny is to be on the shore, possibly in the boat, making a dwarven statue, because he's going to die here. He's going to freeze to death, starve to death, dry up, die of thirst, and die from having his lungs implode from having no smoke in them.
Let's just put it this way. He's definitely sitting there for a while. Mm-hmm. And a few hours pass, and
is he completely alone? There's nobody to help motivate him, or...
You're all alone. Your boat is enough to bring maybe 5 people back. If you needed to. But it's a small boat. They gave you a small boat and basically the mission of go get the research. As you're there...
One thing he has accomplished, though. He has come up with a number of, in his mind, very creative names that he has now come up with for his father. None of them are complimentary, but they are fairly creative.
And when it starts raining orange goo from the sky, looking everywhere, it doesn't feel good. It gets even worse.
And he remembers that he was supposed to get orange goo.
He remembers something about orange goo, but it was mostly research on the orange goo.
So he collects some of the orange goo.
Okay, you pick up some of it. It's raining on you, of course. And it smells a little funky. But you're just like, whatever.
He is collecting. He collects some of the orange goo. And actually feels a bit good about himself that he's accomplished something by collecting some of the orange goo. Because he knows that there was something about orange goo in what he was supposed to do.
All right. Well, with that in mind, you've just been rained on, but you feel a bit more accomplished. Do you now head out to the outpost?
Let's see. Let's see if he overcomes his... a 5.
A 5?
With including what he subtracts with his flaws.
He starts making his way, but instead of taking you the hour it would take to get there, it takes you 4 hours.
And of course he's complaining the entire way.
You complain the entire way. You kind of muddle and skip. And, well, not skip, but you kind of like just muddle and shuffle.
He plods. That's all he ever does.
Plod. There we go. That's a good one.
He plods and shuffles. That's the best he ever does.
Well, he plods. Baumrick plods and he shuffles, and eventually he reaches the area. Now it's completely barren. There's like nothing around. No trees. No nothing. It's just an icy tundra. You finally spot, in amongst the orange goo and the snow and the slime, you eventually spot a little tiny white pillar you recognize as Dwarven made, which indicates outpost.
And he begins dancing around at this point. He's accomplished something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, by this time he is talking to himself frequently. Mm-hmm. Having full-on conversations with himself. And he has come up with a series of, in his mind, creative names for himself as well, which are much more complimentary than the names that he's come up with for his father. Most of them involving his victimhood.
All right. You make your way to the stone hatch, and it's covered, so you wipe it away. And this is the part where remove the book and put yourself at the bottom of the stairs.
Where are the stairs?
Move the book out of the way. You'll see the stairs. Move it this way. Bottom of the stairs is right where there's no stairs. That middle part right there.
Right here?
No, over there.
I don't see the stairs.
With the camera. There. Those are the stairs.
Oh, okay. Right there.
Yep. This map is huge. I pre-drew it. Bam. There we go. I know I'm wearing...
And we've got a poor little dwarf who's not particularly good at anything going to have to do this all by himself.
All by himself. You come down to the bottom of the stairs, and you're met with a typical dwarven... it's not a typical, like, you know, go in, big advance, but it's an outpost. It's got a big open room where people can congregate and talk and chat, and it's basically the main hall. From your recollection, because I know you can see the entire map, that way is usually the bed chambers. This way is the kitchens and food and drink and everything. This way is the farm plots for the mushrooms that get grown and distilled, along with storage of said like seeds and food and other drink that aren't immediately important. And behind you is usually the butchering area. The butchering area for animals, but your father basically said they didn't take any animals except for like a few, but you...
Now, he knows there's kitchen space. There's food and drink in the kitchen space. He has some food, but he needs some drink. So that's immediately the first thing that crosses his mind.
Roll a perception check.
There's also mushrooms, which can be fermented for mead, and they are stored, and the mead would be stored in the storage area. So the storage area is also high on his agenda. But then the bed chambers, the fact that he's been on a boat with no bed, and he would really like to go to bed and take a nice long sleep, that is also the third thing that interests him.
All right.
So he's got three things that interest him. The possibility of drink, the possibility of drink, and the possibility of sleep.
They're all very good ideas. And it's all ultimately up to you. But I want a perception check. And, of course, you're rolling with your negatives.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. 11 this time.
11. You succeed, and you finally, for lack of a better word, sober up. So just cross out your drinking, and you only have to roll that d6 once now. You feel a bit more sobered. You feel like maybe a drink isn't the best idea, but you definitely could go for a smoke if the occasion arises.
But he doesn't know that there's going to be any kind of smokes around here. So the thought occurs, well, I do need to regain my strength, so I need to go find a comfortable bed.
All right.
So he's going to head for where the bed chambers are.
Okay, and this is the part where I made one small little mess up. I need you to roll a few initiatives without adding your negatives, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I just need some initiatives from you, so I have them on hand.
1.
No.
Actually, no.
4, because your initiative's +3.
How's he got a +3? With a dexterity of -2.
Quick thinking. You actually are very quick. You're actually very quick thinking. You're very wise, and you are very good at thinking fast. It may not be the best ideas in the world, but hey, they come to you like bread. So,
no, then in that case, he's got 2, and he's got 13.
No, your initiative's +3, so +3 plus 1 is 4.
Okay, so 4, 14.
14.
So initiative, he's actually got one thing that he's got a plus in initiative. And 16. And 6.
So it was 4, 14, 16, and 6. All right, that'll do for now. Let me just quickly take a look. Okay, so my question to you is this. There, like all typical Dwarven halls, there are exits and entrances everywhere, but in front of you, you see the entrances and exits up there. There's one on the left and one on the right. Which one do you go through? It's where those doors are.
They're here?
Further.
There?
Yeah.
He goes through this one right there.
Okay, so we're doing a very good start. You walk through.
I remember he's looking for a bed.
You're looking for a bed, and you walk through the door, open up the door, and at the end of the hall is a dwarf. And at this point, you realize that, it's been kind of quiet here. And as you walk through the door and look down the hall at this dwarf, roll second sight as a skill. I think you have... What do you have as skills? Do you have second sight?
No.
So roll second sight, uses your wisdom.
Does he use his failure as well?
Mm-hmm.
Only one this time, so... 7.
7?
Total of 7.
No, it's a +7.
No, he doesn't have seconds. His wisdom is +2. He doesn't have the skill, so he only gets his modifier.
Oh yeah, you're right. Hold on.
And which was +2, so that gave him it. He rolled a 10, so he had a 12 minus 5 is
no, it's a 17. It's a 17.
That what it moved since then.
You know what? Take it out of the jar. It's not working in the jar.
I think it's working. I don't know that it would do any better out of the jar. Okay, that's a 14. So
we'll just say it was 14 because I looked over. It was a 17. Yeah. So it's a 17, and you realize when you walk through that door, this dwarf, something is majorly up. First,
does he overcome his addiction to alcohol, his tobacco?
Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's a success. So yeah, success. He overcomes it as well. Now, if he imbibes drink again or smokes, he gets his flaw back. Of course, here in the actual Hero Builder rules, when you overcome, you get an ability point related to it. But this is a one-shot, so this is how we're handling it. Because he's not going to grow any further than this came.
Yeah.
You walk through the door, and yeah, that's a dwarf down there, but he looks wrong. I mean, like, he has 8 eyes to begin with, and you're pretty sure that's not right. Dwarves usually don't have 2. He's got like 8 eyes, and he just looks wrong. Elongated, pale, and he looks down at you, and combat begins. Put him right next to you. Because he goes first. Yep. All the way next to you. He screams and runs down the entire length of the hall, screaming his bloody head off. And that is 2 actions. And now he's right in your face, and his mouth is open. He's going to use his action point.
Oh, he has an action point.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this.
Hold on. Let's just put it this way.
This little guy is screwed.
Let's put it this way. You walked into the area where the boss was.
This is going to be a short. It's going to be a short one shot.
Maybe, just maybe, because like anything, if you get out of sight of him, he will stop immediately in his tracks and go back on to what he was doing. I will give you that. Running's a good option. So he makes his attack. What is your armor class? He laughs at your armor class.
10. Yeah, his armor class is terrible, so.
He does 6 points of damage.
At least he doesn't do much damage, so. Because bomb rack really can't take a hit.
Nope. If you want, I can give you napkins.
Yeah.
War. Bomber really can't take a hit, and you just got, wrecked. Riggedy wreck, son. He rushes up to you, he attacks, and it's now your turn. And what he hits you with is basically his backhand. No weapons, no nothing. He just comes up and slaps Bomb Wreck right across the face. And it's supernatural. You just go like, okay, this guy is either really, really drunk, but he moved way too fast.
But he's really, really wrong at the same time. Mm-hmm. And Bomb Wreck hasn't had a drink, so he knows that his perception's not off.
So definitely might be a good idea to either A, attack him, but currently all you have is your Madak, and it is sheathed.
And he really sucks at fighting anyway, so. Bomb Wreck is going to use one of his action points.
Alright.
And he's going to do two things. The first thing he does is he creates an illusion of himself. Mm-hmm. His little minion, which he places right where he is.
Alright.
So that it is standing there, getting hit. And the second thing he's going to do is while his minion is there getting beat, he's going to take off.
Love it. Go ahead and... so which way do you go? Up the corridor?
Back the way he came.
Back the way you came.
Back through the back this way the way he came.
Alright, let me move him. This is the problem with not having a lot of people around.
Yeah.
The pieces can't get.
Plus, I'm worried about knocking all these
1, 2,
Halloween
3, 4,
statues
5,
off.
6, and you move 6 to there.
And put this because his little minion is still sitting there right in front of, doing exactly what he was doing after he got hit.
All right. You break contact and you hear it roaring and shrieking, and you get the sense that your minion just got dispelled, but it goes quiet afterwards. The door's closed. You are now through the other side, and he is right there now. So that's his last known location, is right there. So, what do you do next?
Bomb Wreck speaks to himself, as he does often, and says, well, I now know one thing more that I didn't know. I now know where not to be. And I also know that I need to get out of here. I collected some orange goo. It's time to go home.
Well.
And he is heading back the way he came towards the stairs. And he is saying over and over, nope, nope, don't care. The name, one of the creative names for Daddy. Nope, I got your orange goo. That's it. You're trying to kill me. I hate you because you're trying to kill me. Another name for Daddy.
As you start walking back towards the stairs, you hear someone go, oh no. We're going to move this camera. And you see a dwarf lady. And...
well, the first thing Bomb Wreck does is he looks and he counts her eyes.
She definitely's got 2.
He counts a second time.
Definitely just 2 eyes.
And he immediately says, plus, Bomb Wreck, your life just got better. She only has 2 eyes.
And she goes, I guess you ran into Tristal.
He says, you mean the one with 8 eyes?
Yes.
He says, so is he the norm or are you the norm? Does everybody here tend to have 8 eyes or 2 eyes?
She kind of like does this and she goes, well, to be honest, I heard Tristal shriek, but we should probably move to a better location. She kind of like motions towards the farm.
Right now there are 2 things that he could potentially ask. Now I'm going to roll to see which of these 2 things he asks.
All right.
One of them is good and one of them is not so good. Let's see which decision does he choose to make. He makes the proper one. The opposite was to ask where is a good place to get a drink around here. But instead, he holds up the jar full of orange goo and he says, "What do you know about this?"
She goes, Rot Shack.
He was going to ask either about the orange goo or about where to get a drink.
She goes, Rot Shack, and you're covered in it.
He says, I know I'm covered in it, but what is it?
She goes, it's not safe out here. Follow me to the pantry. Oh, not the pantry, the storage room.
He follows her.
And this is the part where I'm going to get up a lot. I really should have changed my pants. But
I didn't have anything Halloween-y to wear, so
these are let's see. Here we go. You two are now in here talking, and while you're in here, she hands you some food, which you can eat and get back health points. A 1d4 of hit points back.
he gets 2 back.
You get 2 hit points back. You have just enough time to eat some food. And I'll allow you to roll it one more time if you choose to drink some alcohol to get power points back. Because you just used 5 power points to make that minion.
He realizes he has a weakness. Let's let his... He does have a bit of wisdom. He abstains from the alcohol, realizing that he needs to keep a clear head.
So you are able to keep a nice clear head.
And he keeps his flaws away. Keeps
Right.
the alcohol flaw away. Which means he's not going to be able to regain power points without detonating his flaw.
You know you can just erase the 17 and the...
Yeah.
It's whatever you want to do. Whatever's easiest.
When it gets to the point that it starts annoying me, I will.
Okay, totally up to you. She goes, as you eat, and she offers you the alcohol, and you abstain, she begins to tell you about what's exactly happened here. She introduces herself as Lybash, the distillist. Now, she used to work in the kitchens, distilling alcohol and drink for all the other dwarves. But that kind of changed when the lead researcher, Rakust, told her to come in and take a look at the orange goo. Now, the orange goo was a phenomenon they encountered when they first arrived. One of the things that was noticed was the few animals they brought here to the tundra, after 24 hours turned into mindless zombies after contacting an exposure, which she tells your character that you have been caught out in the rain, and she asks you, how long ago were you infected?
Let's see if he even knows. He does not.
You do not. I do, though. So she goes, it's probably best we cook you up an antidote for the rot shack that was falling from the sky.
He says, will I get 8 eyes otherwise?
She goes, no, the 8 eyes is my fault. And you can kind of tell she's a little bashful about it. She goes, he
says, but you have normal 2 eyes.
Well, as I said, Rakust took me off my distilling job. Well, I was supposed to distill alcohol still, but I started having to distill the rot shack itself, see if I could make anything out of it under his direction. And after some testing, I was able to create distilled rot shack that, for lack of better words, allows one to keep their mind. Moreover, whatever I threw into the distilling process ended up making different kinds of undead.
He says, so that guy with the 8 eyes is undead?
Yes.
He says, how'd he die?
She kind of looks a little off, and she kind of goes, I honestly don't know, but someone fed him rot shack from one of the earlier testing, and he kind of went off the rails. It's like he was fed regular rot shack, but it had the effects of distilled rot shack. So this is the mystery to her. She doesn't know exactly what type of rot shack he ingested, but it's obviously something that had something to do with spiders, because he keeps spinning webs all over the place. And a lot of earth, and plus the eyes. But she honestly doesn't know.
Is he related to a gangrel?
he is the very... Let's put it this way. If you guys don't make it out here, the gangrel don't exist.
If we don't make it out of
here? If you guys don't make it out of here, the gangrel doesn't exist. I will give you that much. Like I said, this right here dictates how Unlife gets to the 5th realm. So there is a little bit of lore building here. This is the very first major encounter with Rotchak, which is, for lack of better words, what gives Unlife in the 5th realm.
Okay.
And it's a mysterious orange goo that falls from the sky in the Arctic.
And he has to know. He now has to try to figure out if he even remembers why he's here. He got a 7.
A 7.
He knows he's supposed to collect
orange goo.
The orange goo, but he's trying to remember because he really wasn't paying much attention when he was told all this. He was busy feeling sorry for himself and saying, "Why me? Why are you doing this to me? I didn't hurt anyone. What did I do to deserve this?" So does he remember anything beyond the fact that he's supposed to collect some orange goo?
You remember that you're definitely supposed to be getting research on something, and and because your wisdom's pretty high, you do understand the thing that the orange goo is the Rotchak. Like, it's only not logical, but it makes sense just by looking at it.
Now remember, the gangrel aren't technically undead. They're vampires, but they're not really dead vampires. They're a race. They're a species.
No,
they live deeper in the earth than the dwarves.
I agree with that point, although I'm going to quickly say that we haven't had the 5th realm come out yet. So, which do you think is cooler? They come from the earth, or they are a product of Rotchak?
I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out as we go.
Yep. In any case, there's a guy with 8 eyes, and apparently he's the most powerful. She also says that after dinner, one night, she had a stomach ache that night. A bunch of the other dwarves that were in the place got, well, for lack of a better word, zombified. And then they started going around and killing all the other dwarves. She doesn't know how many others are currently alive.
And he then asks her, "So are you the only one here?"
She shrugs.
He says, "Besides the zombie dwarves and all 8 eyes."
She shrugs and she goes, "I don't know, but I do know that we need to probably get you to the
And now she hasn't asked him why he's here yet.
She goes, actually, good point. Why are you here?"
He says, at this point, he then says, "Well, I am my father's eldest son." He neglects to mention the fact that he's his father's only son. He says, "My father is one of the High Council." He says,
they sent you here to collect the research.
Enlightenment hits his eye, says, "The research. That's what I'm here for. You're right. That is what I'm here for."
You're here to get the research.
And he is trying very hard, since she is a female, to make himself appear not to be a slow-witted, lazy dolt, but rather to be a quick-witted, brave and courageous young prince.
All right. You also notice that she's speaking in whispers. And let's just say the conversation lasts another... Okay, so it's now been...
So he says, "So how about we collect this research and then we get out of here?" He says, "I'm sure you'd rather be back."
She goes, "Well, we could, but you would turn into a zombie halfway across the ocean."
He says, "Why is that?"
"You are covered in the Rotchak."
He says, "But I'm supposed to bring this home."
Correct, but not all over yourself. We need to get you an antidote. You're poisoned.
He says, "Oh." And then it suddenly dawns on him. He says, "Why does my father want me to bring back something that's poisonous?"
She shrugs and she goes, "That wasn't really my department. That was Rakust."
The thought occurs to him, why does the High Council want this stuff if it's so bad? It should stay here. It should not be coming home.
She just kind of shrugs. She goes, the High Council.
Another thought has occurred to him now. Maybe the High Council is up to no good. That why do we want zombie dwarves and eight-eyed monsters back in what Harava?
Hingariva.
Back in Hingariva. So it says, since there's no boats here, it's much better that all these horrible things stay over here in this frozen island rather than coming back to Hingariva. So why does the High Council want this stuff that turns people into zombies and eight-eyed monsters?
She immediately snaps at you. I made a roll.
And he's saying this all. He's thinking. He's gotten into the habit of thinking out loud.
She kind of just snaps at him and goes, "We do not question the High Council. We simply do what they say."
He has a degree of wisdom. And he's using it. And he says, "But why?"
But why?
He says, he says, "They're just dwarves like us." He says, "My father is one of them, and there's nothing particularly special about him."
With that role, I'll say this: you can tell her loyalties are to the council. Whatever happens here, her loyalties are to the council. Your character just bears that in mind.
Okay.
And she basically snaps at you, saying, "We don't question it. All we gotta do now is get you healed up, and then we can make our way back to the mainland. If you don't want to bring back Rotchak, that's fine with you. But I want out of here now."
And he definitely agrees with that. That we need to get home. But it suddenly occurred to him that why do we want zombies and eight-eyed monsters back home?
It's a good question.
And so, but he definitely agrees. He wants to get cleaned up. He wants to get the antidote, and he wants to go home.
She looks at him and she goes, "Well, we could take you to the kitchens to spray you off, but..."
He says, "Whatever's fastest. I want to get unpoisoned as soon as possible."
She nods and she agrees. She goes, "We need to get you first cleaned up, because it will do you no good if you have the antidote. Yeah, it will clear you up, but unless you're cleaned, it's not going to work." She goes, there might be some in the we might be able to get you a spare set of clothing from one of the bedrooms and get you cleaned up in probably the janitor's closet. That's probably a good place. He's got a little drainage hole we could spray stuff into." Well, I don't know. I don't even know if Sodell is alive or not.
He says, "If you think it'll work quickly," he says, "I'm all about getting this stuff off of me quickly."
She motions to you, and if you look right there, Tim, that little room right there, that's the janitor's closet. Yep, over there. That's the janitor's closet. So she basically looks at you and she goes, "So, which way do you think we should go? Through the kitchens or through the main bedroom areas?"
And he immediately says, "How should I know? I've never been here. I don't know what kind of horrors might be lurking in those particular chambers." He says, "Which way do you think is the safest and the quickest?"
Well, considering you just came from the bedrooms, he's been making a bit of a for lack of better words, logical movements. He's been circling the entire facility. And at this point, I'm going to tell you, Tim, right now, I know where he is. I have an exact map of out there. Here's the difference, though. I know where he is currently on the map. Every time something happens, I will move him to his new spot. If you get within 10 spaces of his spot, we're going to have to do some stealth checks to see if he hears you or not.
Okay.
So if I say, "Hey, do some stealth checks," he's probably 10 spaces near you.
Well, I remember where he's at, so I don't want to go directly where he was at. And so I suggest that we go around this way instead of around this way, because that puts us farther away from where he was last.
All right. All right. Which wall do you hug?
This one.
All right. Make a stealth check. And she's going to do the same thing. And, ooh. She accidentally stubs her toe.
He got fairly well.
You guys start making your way.
He got a 20. Not natural, but he got a 20.
Ooh, nice.
He actually rolled well.
She stubs her toe, and you hear a scream, and he's going to start making his way towards you. So, combat has begun. He is not there yet, but he is going to start moving your way. So, they're going to both roll. Wow, he rolled absolutely terribly. She goes first. She yells, "Run!" And she moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. And she bursts open the door.
And
now it's your go.
I follow her.
You follow her?
Mm-hmm.
You can get one space. Do you push past her into the room, or do you stay there?
Stay there.
Stay there? You stay there, and over her shoulder, you see 3 rotten corpses, and one that's not quite rotten yet. And the ones that are rotten are just glowing absolute neon orange. The other one just has it in his eyes. He looks a little decayed. The other ones, though, are very decayed. And combat's still going. And he moves... All right. He's moved there. And now it's everybody else's turn. So wow, he rolled really well that time. He might actually be making a second beeline for you. Okay, everybody freaking goes before you for some reason. Actually, hold on. It's a no, she goes first. She bursts through the door and she screams because there are zombies in here, and they are not looking nice zombies. She will use her skill check to look at you and go, should we fight or should we run past them?
And he says, I think fighting should always be the last option.
She goes running past. He's going to make a attack of opportunity on her. Ooh, hits. Ooh. As she runs past... As she runs past, so she moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She gets to there. But as she runs past, the more fresher zombie reaches out and slashes her with horrible elongated fingernails, doing 8 points of damage to her. And in all reality, it looks bad. Next up is our friend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Where's Kevin and Jane when you need them? You see him round the corner. He is now there. He bursts through that door and runs to here, screaming. Pretty sure I got that all in the shot. There. A bit better. There. Next up, this zombie. The blue zombie. Who will move 1, 2 spaces. He is now in front of the door. He's going after her, but he kind of stops at the door and just looks at it. Now it's their turn. 2. 1, 2.
What is this?
A table. He's about to make a check.
So is he climbing the table?
He's climbing the table. He successfully climbs up onto the table. This rotting, disgusting, horrible-looking creature climbs up onto the table, and now it's your turn.
And I'm going to fade from sight.
All right.
So +2 to stealth. Oh, does he get an extra movement as well?
Yeah, he moves 1 space. He gets 1 free space.
Okay, so he can make a standard move action and gets 1 free space. And he has... So, of course, he's going to make a stealth check.
All right. So you've made your... And the power is the power is technically a non-combative power. So this is your skill check. So you can now move and you have an extra space.
Right. And his stealth, he got a 22.
Oh, 22? Yeah, the zombies don't notice you. Not even that guy who just rounded the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he rounded the corner, looked at you, and then kind of, like, cocked his head, and you can see all of his eyes, like, looking around, like, where did he go? Describe how you fade from sight. Using illusions. Like, nobody can see you.
He sort of steps into the wall and appears to become part of the wall. It looks as though he stepped through the wall, though in fact, he didn't even move in that direction.
All right.
Because he is doing something that he is going completely out of character for what he normally does. He has moved actually to there.
All right. And that's 1 action to move there. You have 1 more action.
All right. And he is going to use an action point.
Your only other one.
His only other action point. And he is going to put his minion steps out of the wall where he vanished, right where he was.
Okay.
He is doing something that is rather out of character for him. And I rolled for him. I rolled for him, and he did very well. I'm not exactly sure why he's doing this. I haven't figured it out yet. Because he's essentially a coward, and
it runs up because it's an end of round. He runs up and he attacks your minion. It did not even stand a chance, and he basically webs it and then destroys it and looks a little confused that the thing just kind of fades from sight.
Is this the second round?
Yeah, this is the second round.
We're still going on the initiatives that I already rolled?
Yeah, this is the last one.
Okay.
And now you go, considering technically combat has started. This is the last thing you know about what's going on over there. That door is now closed. You are now in that room by yourself with basically what is called Tristal. And your stealth last turn is still in effect.
Right.
You can roll stealth again. Just a pure stealth check without your power enabled.
And that's why he is doing something that is totally out of character for him. He is going to sneak attack the guy.
Oh. All right. Wait, hold on. You have to arm yourself. Or did you arm yourself when you left the area?
Yeah, he armed himself.
Okay, you took out your magic. So your magic is out. And
That's why it's totally out of character, because he sucks at fighting and hates it.
well, I'll give you a +2 bonus for being able to maybe hit him, and you do double. And are you using your last bit of power points to do Desperate Strike?
Yeah,
Which
will.
actually is very befitting. This thing just rounded the corner.
Yeah,
It's like Desperate Strike time.
He will. I hadn't thought of that, but he actually will.
I'll give you a +2, and let's see if you can make the check.
Oh! He rolled a natural 16.
16.
So he's got +4, so that's a 20. Not natural, but
that is a hit.
It's a 20.
Roll for damage and then double it.
Now, is this the damage?
Damage is a D10, and there's a D10 in there.
Why do we have another D?
20 in there, so all you had to do was just roll that once.
Oh.
See, this is...
I've been rolling the other one, so... And 8, 16, plus 20 points.
20 points? Wow. You killed the bad guy. That was pretty clever. I did not see that coming.
I didn't, and I rolled to see if he was going to be brave.
There's other things in this place that will kill you, but you just took out the biggest thing in the facility, which is Tristal. Now, just to kind of show you what was going on. Actually, first off, describe how you kill Tristal in one. You delivered just enough in that Desperate Strike. As he's looking at the spot, describe how you
destroys the
Tristal.
minion. He destroys the minion and then starts digging through his webbing trying to find the corpse, which seems to have disappeared. And while he's bent over the webbing, I mysteriously step out of the wall behind him, raise the mattock very clumsily over my head with both hands, and bring it down on the back of his skull.
Good. And his skull splits open, blood goes everywhere. It's not good. He's mangled. He's twitching on the ground. You successfully killed. And now just to kind of like go over, I have this map here, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was making a round robin,
Mm-hmm.
and as I said, do all that kind of stuff. But he was the biggest thing in here, and he was supposed to like kind of hunt you down.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing that, but you successfully used your powers. That I gave you this character.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't create this character. I gave you this character. I was thinking maybe it might be fun. You came up with. It doesn't matter how crazy Hero Builder can get.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even matter if somebody else has come up with the powers. Because it's so unique and you can create such interesting powers to begin with, you came up with a way to use those powers I created.
Powers that have nothing to do with combat.
Except one.
And find a way to actually use them to advantage. Because the fact that he could fade from sight and make a minion means that he can really play deceptive little tricks on people that they think they're attacking him, which gives a perfect sneak attack.
Now, I just realized a quick thing.
He's now totally out of power points.
He's definitely out of power points, and I'm going to say this. Your one action point was to create the minion. No, wait, hold on. Your one action was to create the minion. You use the other action point to give yourself the power points. Let's just say you rolled a d6 and you got 5 because you had 15.
Okay.
And that was 5 to do the power, and then you needed 5 to do it, and then all you had was 5 left, and double damage is 10 power points. But because that was pretty cool, let's just say you roll a d6, and
I must have forgotten to subtract some power points.
It's fine.
Well, he's definitely at 0 now.
But you definitely killed it. I'll give you that. But as much as I was thinking about giving you a hero point, I'm not going to give you that hero point because there was that little bit of a mistake.
Hero point.
Otherwise, though, there are other zombies in the facility that you will have to contest with. So, take them off the map. What do you do now? You're now alone again. All you know is through that door there are zombies.
Yeah,
and she ran through that door.
And the zombies are still there?
You make a perception check.
10 total.
10 total?
Yep.
Alright. You can hear the zombies on the other side scratching at the door. They can't seem to open it, though.
At this point, I look up from the corpse in front of me, and he goes, "Damn, I was kind of hoping they'd all disappear if he died."
He does look even worse up close now that he's dead. But what do you do now? You've essentially killed the guy.
Mm-hmm. And now he's alone again.
You're all alone, and zombies are scratching at the door. And you're tired now. The power points, because you're drained,
Mm-hmm.
you're now tired.
Well, he's going to head this way. And he's going to sneak. And he gets a 17 to his stealth.
Alright. You are successfully able to sneak, and
he wants to try to rendezvous with the girl. He doesn't know what's become of her, where she ended up. Last he saw of her, she was running that direction.
So you go through here, sneaking, and when you come out the door, you see her looking around the corner here. We're going to bring the camera this way. You come around this way, you see her, you come up to her, and she looks up at you, and she goes, "Oh! I thought you died."
And he says, his chest pumps up, and he stands up to his full 3.5 foot height, and he says, he holds the mattock up, which still has stickiness on it, and says, "This was from Eight Eyes."
She goes, "I can't believe you killed him."
He says, "Neither can I." Then he says, "No. Of course I killed him."
Of course, yeah, I totally killed him.
He says, "I am my father's eldest son." He says that after he says, "Neither can I."
She goes, "Well, let's get you cleaned up first." So she starts taking you to...
He says, "Is there anywhere that a fella can get a good meal and a nap?" He says, that battle wore me out.
She says, "Well, let's get you cleaned up first. Much more important. Then we'll take a nap." She opens up this door, the broom closet, and inside... And
as we're going in there, I'm telling her about describing the battle with Tristan, and he says, "Yeah, he was a tough old cuss." Says he attacked me, I ducked, I hit him, and he took it. He hit me back, and it hurt. Yeah, he says, but I took it. He says he hit me, pinned me against the wall.
Roll for deception. You're trying to deceive her in this story.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh, she freaking believes this. She believes it. She's like, "Whoa, crazy! I did not even. Whoa, nuts!" And then she opens up the door, and there is a dwarf, a little short, but he's very stocky looking, very like brutish.
Not fat like.
Not fat.
Not fat like Bomrick is. Bomrick is short and very fat.
And he
not short and buff, short and fat.
And he has his broom up, and he's like, "Ah! Oh my gods! I thought you guys were zombies." And he's got a very long beard, twisted into nice knots. He's got what appears to be a pipe that's kind of hung on his jacket, and he is dressed like a janitor. And he's like, "Oh!" And she goes...
As he does that, Bomrick is just finishing his story as we encounter this dwarf, and he finishes it with, "And now you understand why it was the only logical conclusion that I was the best choice to send on this particular quest."
And she agrees with you. She definitely agrees, but upon opening the door, she goes, "Sodel, what the hells are you doing in here?" And he kind of goes, "I was just hiding from our former friends who were trying to eat my face. You weren't there dining when that happened." She goes, "No, I wasn't. Who's your friend?"
And Bomrick says, "I'm Bomrick." He says, "I am the eldest son of my father, of the High Council." What's his father's name?
The father's name is Lonev.
He says I'm the eldest son of Lonev of the High Council. He says
Lonev.
He says they call me Prince Bomrek, but he says Bomrek is fine.
He goes, "Oh, Lonev. I know about eldest." You're not eldest. You're the only son.
He says, that's because my little brother died.
In that bar fight.
He nods.
That you were a part of.
He says, no, I wasn't a part of that.
Roll for deception. That was definitely the bar fight you were in. That's the failure.
Oh, he's rolling very well on his deceptions. He got a 19 that time. Natural 19. He says, he looks down and says, unfortunately, my brother was not of the wisest sort and chose to take on a number of barbarians by himself. He says, I was too late arriving. He says, I deftly punished the scoundrels for what they'd done. But alas, my poor brother could not be saved.
Reach down and push the camera downward a little
Which
bit.
way? This way?
Down a little bit. Keep going. Stop. There we go.
He's rolling well on his deceptions.
Oh, he's rolling phenomenal on his deceptions.
He's got these people convinced that he's a great hero, not a drunken lout that's essentially worthless.
You successfully lie to him. He goes, "Oh, don't know how I was wrong." Anyway,
I say rumors.
Why?
I say he says every mouth that speaks them they change.
He goes, "Fair enough. Let me guess." He's looking at you, and he goes, "You also got caught out in the rot shack."
He nods.
And you want to use my room, my hidey hole, with Tristal running out there, and you want to clean him off. And she goes, "Well, Tristal's dead." Tristal's dead?
And I puff my chest up again.
Didn't see that one coming. He goes, "Spray him away." Well, actually, hold on. I'll spray him. I'm not going to let anyone else touch my hose. He pulls out a hose, flicks it on, and he points at you, and he gets all that gunk off. You're not wet. And he goes, "Probably shouldn't go out into the cold for a while."
Yeah, it's probably still cold in here to an extent.
It's actually underground, and I will say this: you guys are 40 feet underground, so it's actually kind of warmish here.
And now he's interested in the bed.
He goes, "Well, if you took care of Tristal, we don't have to really worry about him walking around, but what about the other zombies?"
And I say, didn't take them out.
Well,
he says after that long battle with Tristal, he says I was a bit too tired to be fighting a horde of zombies.
He goes, What do you think, audience? Do you think he should be able to take a sleep in that one bedroom next to him with each person taking guard?
Is there anybody listening? Is there anybody currently watching?
Yeah, there's people watching. So, let us know down in the live stream comments. We'll leave it on for a little bit, and let's see here. There has been some talk. Jane answered the question, but let us know what you want. Are they able to take a good, full, solid sleep to get back your power points, get back your health HP, and to get back your action points? And I will say this: there's other things in here that will kill him, and this time they're in groups. But are they able to get through? Let us know down in the comments, and down in the chat. Actually, it's not comments yet.
And will Bomrat continue to evolve into the hero that he's trying to tell people that he is, Or will he go back to his
lying ways? Well, in that case, do you want more chocolate milk?
Sure.
While we wait for them to respond back to us. And while I'm gone, I want you to do me a favor. While I'm gone, I want you to tell them where Rotchak actually comes from. What the green glowing stuff that falls from the
glowing
sky.
stuff.
Oh, sorry, not green. Orange. Orange glowing stuff that falls from the sky. Or is it just a mystery? There's the camera. Talk to them. Where do you think they come from?
Where does the Rotchak come from?
Actually, let's put it this way. Where do you think it comes from? And remember, when you distill it with something else, it will become undead, but part of it. So how I was kind of thinking of it was, if you put kaiju blood and distill it with Rotchak, they become a lich. Because they become magically powerful.
Or something akin to a lich. I don't know if I want to directly, because a lich might be...
Nope.
It's not?
Nope.
Oh.
Liches are a part of history.
Rotchak. Where does it come from? It is the remnants. So they say. It is the remnants of a dead god. How this god died, no one exactly knows. Or exactly who this god was. But supposedly it is the remnants of a god who has died. And it is essentially the decomposing muck that is what is left of its body. It falls from the sky and infects everything that it touches with an undead life. A very foul, contaminated, undead life. It poisons them, eventually kills them, and when they die, they resurrect as a zombie. And if mixed with kaiju blood, it's even worse. Yeah, that is what they say about Rotchak. It is the remnants, the decomposing remnants of a dead god who has fallen. As to who this god is, the stories don't say. There are a number of stories that this god fell in a war between gods, that this god was murdered by its sibling. Some of the stories say that this god was male and it was a brother that killed him. Some of the stories say that this was a goddess, a female.
Are you talking about the chain god?
And that it was a sister that killed her. Rotchak is, according to the stories, according to the mythology, no one knows for sure, is the decomposing remnants of the body of a dead god. And according to the stories, there are three different variations. One being that this god was a male, and that he was murdered by his brother. Mm-hmm. And the second is that this god was a goddess, a female, and that she was killed by her sister. The third is that this god died in battle with other gods, a war among gods. No one knows which of these stories, if any, is true, but all of the stories about Rotchak agree that the substance is the decomposing remnants of a dead god. And that when any living creature that it touches is infected with a disease, corruption, that eventually kills them, and when they die, they resurrect with a hideous undead life.
But if you distill the Rotchak, they keep their mind.
And then they're even worse.
Well, it appears that what happened to Tristal was off, and they have agreed you get to sleep. There's watchouts.
Oh, so we had some comments. They think I should be able to sleep.
Everyone did that, but I will say this. Because you all slept, and I just made a roll to see if one other person has found you. Did not. You wake up, but there is definitely moaning in the halls.
When I wake up, I look around and say, I was still kind of hoping they'd disappear after he was dead.
They go, no, but it seems like they are now in other places. Grab them.
Where are we at? Where is our bed?
The room you used was this one right here.
And so he is back to Mac top PowerPoint.
Yep. And full HP and both action points. And you're feeling a bit more confident about yourself.
Yes, he is.
But now comes the main question. The routes. Which route do you take? Because I have now randomized where the other encounters are.
Well, he still needs to get research. So I look at my two new companions and say, I was sent here by the High Council to bring back some of this. He holds his jar of Rotchak up and shakes it. And he says, and I was also sent to recover some research.
She nods and she goes, I agree, but we still need to... It's been, let's say, 6 hours at the very least. And actually, you know what? Let's make it 12 hours. It's been 12 hours, and everybody's been able to sleep, with one person getting a full 12-hour sleep, which was you, because they consider you to be the bravest and the boldest out of them all. She goes, we still need to get you to... you are right, we need to get the research. But you also need to get an antidote.
He says, I thought cleaning me off was the antidote.
She shakes her head. She goes, no.
Then I say, will the antidote work on those poor bastards out there?
She goes, no. The one thing we learned from testing Rotchak was, in truth and reality, once you die, there is no coming back. Even if you do have the Rotchak and the specialized Rotchak, distilled Rotchak in you, it doesn't work. You're gone.
And then I say, but that isn't possible. It says, when we dwarves die, we turn to stone. None of them are stone. He says, so how can they truly be all the way dead?
She kind of nods and she goes, well, it's not been 50 days yet.
He says, so they'll turn to stone
in 50 days. But what I do not understand is the rotting part. They're rotting like normal people. It might be an effect of the Rotchak.
He says, I say, what is this stuff anyway?
She goes...
He says, it falls out of the sky. He says, but it can't be something natural. Not to do that to someone.
She shrugs and she goes, the very few scouts we sent out to look over the place, there's nothing around. There's nothing at all. We don't know.
He gets an idea then. Let's see if it occurs to him. Oh, it does. He's on a roll.
So this is where the legend comes from.
He says, so what brought you out here? He says, what brought you out here to this isolated, cold, terrible place to do research if you didn't know that there was something out here? And he holds up the jar and says something like this.
Sodell just shrugs and he goes, I'm just a janitor. He looks over at Libash. What's your will?
What's his will?
Yeah, what's your will?
12.
12. You get a sense, she rolled well, but just barely. You get a sense that when the next word she speaks is truthful.
Okay.
We were just sent to establish an outpost, and then we found this.
He appears to be in deep brooding thought then. And he says, why would my father and the other elders want something like this that has such a terrible effect on people?
Not just that, but it changes everything about a dwarf, which is they are made of stone. These guys are rotting.
Mm-hmm. He says, why would that be a good thing? The council is supposed to act only in the best interest of the people. Says, having this is definitely not in the best interest of anyone.
We're going to do a memory check, and this uses your intelligence. Let's see if
it's not very good.
Let's see if you remember something. You, the audience, might remember. You might remember. Mm-hmm. But let's see if the character remembers a piece of information that was dropped earlier in this session.
Okay. Are you going to say the piece of information, or he's just going to roll on it?
Roll it. I'm going to say the...
No, his good rolls have ended.
Oh.
He got a natural 1.
It definitely does not dawn on him. And let's put it this way. It no longer dawns on him because he rolled that 1. It will never cross his mind that she's the one that knows how to turn the rock shat into distilled rock shack. Rot shack.
Yeah, he's completely forgotten that it could be distilled. Completely forgotten.
But it doesn't. All he still knows is, though, she's fiercely loyal.
Mm-hmm.
But she is insisting on getting you to get an antidote for your stuff, or otherwise you will become a mindless zombie like the rest.
He says, all right, well then let's get me the antidote. He says, so we can get that research so we can get out of here.
Gee, you think Rabbit Fangirl?
What?
Gee, I wonder if she's lying.
Yeah,
she's lying.
Oh, was that a comment we got?
A comment we got.
Oh, cool.
Is she lying? Duh!
He's just not smart enough to
pick up
on it. So even if he was a genius, though, with that role, he wouldn't have picked up on it.
So, I'm now going to show you the map. You have 2 ways to go. You can either go this way and go down to the lab area, or go through the kitchens.
Well, since he's not the brightest thinker, he knows the kitchens had been infested with zombies. He wants to go the other way.
All right, you go the other way.
It's never occurred to him that the zombies may have moved and maybe elsewhere. Remember, he still fundamentally is not particularly bright.
You go out into the main hall and just kind of spread these out in the main hall. Just all over the place.
Where's the main hall? Here?
That's the main hall. All over the place. And while you do that, I'm going to move the camera and move you to here. Right there. Here. He's just looking at the corner. And as you round the corner, you see the hall is littered with zombies. Decaying ones, slightly decaying ones, and one that looks like he was just recently turned into a zombie.
He's still fresh. He's a fresh one. He's still juicy, as they say.
Mm-hmm. You come in.
And I say, well, this isn't good.
Nope. Roll for initiative, because I no longer have your initiative.
How many initiatives do I need?
We're just going to start rolling. I like when there's tons of people, yeah, we should do that. But it's just the two of us.
All right. 17.
17. And pressure. Oh, pressure goes last. Okay. Very first one to go is actually you. You get to go first.
Right.
And luckily, we're now moving this way, so I don't have to start getting up anymore.
Alright, let's see. He moves to there and attacks this guy.
Alright.
With his Matic. And a natural 20.
Describe how you kill them. They are technically minions.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if they were minions.
Even with your thing, you probably couldn't kill them. Because the lowest you can do is 3. So go ahead, take him off.
Alright, and he whacks that one with his Matic. Charging and swinging the Matic rather clumsily but effectively. The zombie simply stands there and takes it in the face.
They weren't expecting you. And that's your go. Next up is... Nope, I almost forgot to roll for... Yeah, okay. Hang on. That was pathetic. Next up is the normal zombies.
Which one are the normal ones? The white ones or the blue ones?
The blue ones. The blue ones move 2 spaces, but they hit harder. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's their go. They're slowly making their way towards you. Imagine doing this with Crystal on your back.
Mm-hmm.
But you killed him already.
Didn't expect that to work out quite as well.
I didn't even get to do his really cool power. That would have almost killed you. I only did like, oh no, this is the bad guy. I should have done the power. Oh no. Oh well. So, that's their go. Next up is the Decaying zombies. Which are the white ones.
Okay.
They move 2 spaces, except for the one in the corner. Except for the ones that just can't see you.
All right, so they don't. So only this.
Only those 2.
He moves 2.
1, moves 2, 1, 2. Because they all have 2 actions.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So their movement's just 2. I've
forgotten my own rules.
So they've moved 2. Next up is Sodell. Now Sodell yells a furious dwarven cry, and he rushes in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he uses his mop.
His mop.
And he attacks. Holy hell! He rolled a natural 20. And that is... Huh. How much health points do they have? Okay. So that one zombie's still up, but whoo, doggy, he definitely hit it. So he basically takes off the fresh zombies, not the fresh zombies, the normal zombies' arm with his broom. He just kind of like slices it up, and pure raw crazed dwarf he is, he makes his attack and does it, and he does that much damage. The other one's still there. The other one's still there. Next up is Lybash. Move Lybash. She's going to run away because she realizes fighting the zombies is a bad idea.
Where does she run to?
As far as she can this way, towards us.
Here?
She just runs past everybody.
Right there?
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have her move 6 more this way around the staircase.
She'll take an attack of opportunity here from this guy.
She's going to attempt her skill check. She failed it. He gets an attack of opportunity. He sucks. It was just like 2 2s in a row. What the hell?
So she ends up there then.
She ends up there. And finally is the fresh zombie who actually moves normal speed and does a lot of damage. So put him right next to her. And
it might not have been a good move.
Nope. A natural 20. And these guys did not have a lot of hit points to begin with. So what was their hit points? Ooh, she's hurting. She is definitely hurting.
She's been better off to stay back where she was.
Yep. So, she's now hurting. Is now top of the round.
And he got 22.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, you go first again. Wow, you're just rolling nice and high.
At the moment he is. At least on these initiatives, let's see if this trend continues. 13 to hit.
13 to hit, that is a hit. They're just shambling zombies. So roll your damage. Let's see if you actually kill him.
No, his damage is already rolled. It is 5.
5, he's a minion, so he's gone.
Right. Wasn't a great roll, but...
So that was your first action. You do have a second action.
Second.
You can also run and attack at him. You take a negative, but you can run and attack at the other guy.
And his next action, he moves. See who was there.
Mm-hmm.
He moves to there. See who attacks him.
All right. And next up is our friend over there. Have him do a 5-foot step towards us.
Which one?
Sodell.
This one?
Yeah.
Here?
Yep.
All right.
He is now going to use his only power. Let's just put it this way. The goal was for you to hopefully find this guy and have him help you against the Tristal fight. But you secretly snuck up behind Tristal and killed him in one shot. So.
Did I throw a monkey wrench in the plan?
No. It just means that
It was very cool, though.
Oh, yeah. No, it definitely was cool. But because of the mix-up, you would have gotten a hero point for killing Tristal. But because there was that little bit of a mix-up, you don't get the hero point. And he rolled horribly on his attack. They don't go down. They don't even get hit. Next up is her. She's going to attempt to roll. That just fell. I'm going to make an actual roll here. I rolled the exact same number. So she's going to get an attack of opportunity on her as she attempts to get through those doors. She succeeds.
So she is through the doors.
Through the doors. Because that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, she's there.
She is just heading for the hills.
Yep. And I'm going to see if I can bring the camera this way. There. She's now through the doors. And now it's Blue Guys's. That one blue guy is looking a little confused because nobody's near him anymore. But the other two are going to attack.
But I'm sure he's probably which direction does he move?
Which that's a hit.
Which direction does he move? This way or this way?
They move
this one. Does he go this way or does he go this way? To get around here.
Goes that way.
This way?
Yeah.
So he's here.
Okay.
Where was it? Oh, yeah.
Okay. So they'll just took one hit from the one guy. And now it's the fresh zombie who just had her run, have him run at the door and attack it because he can't get through it because he's a zombie. He's brainless at the moment.
Right.
He does successfully hit the door. Door is still up.
She's breathing a sigh of relief.
Yep. But the door is now damaged. And let's just put it this way. He runs up to the door, and in one hit, the door splinters. Not good. That door not going to last long. And now it's the rotten zombies have him... Did you kill that one? I thought you killed that one.
No, I killed the other one. That one.
Okay, that one's coming at you. But it uses 2 actions to get to you. Actually, no, 5-foot step technically. So 5-foot step, 2 spaces, will now attack you. He rolled a 3. Let's not talk about his attack. And let's see if the one in the corner... The one in the corner didn't... The other corner didn't. Alright, so those 2 zombies are just kind of ignoring their fresh fellow. And now it's top of the round again. Yeah. I hope you've been enjoying this. If you have been enjoying this, leave a like down in the description. Have you been enjoying this?
Mm-hmm. I'm actually starting to like this character.
Me too. Shame he, technically dwarves live a very long time, so he might still be around.
He started out totally pathetic, but he's actually starting to gain a bit of character.
Yeah. Even a one-shot character can always have...
And, he got a 16.
16. Okay. Okay, they rolled well. They, on their hand, also rolled well. Okay, first up is her. Have her go into, through the other door.
And how far does she get?
Put her against this wall. Yeah, there she is. And that's her go. She makes a roll. Okay. Next up is actually that fresh zombie who makes an attack against the door. Successful. He breaks down the door. Door gets broken down. He looks through the... That's it. He just breaks down the door. She's not there. She barely got out of there alive. If she did not roll high enough, she would have been spotted. Okay, now it's your turn.
Now it's my turn. Let's see. And... his minion, the 5 power point minion, is that a single action or is that a full action? It's only 5. I think it was 6. 6 power points was the break off point.
Quick thing. To Rabbit Fangirl said if he were to roll in that one, would that break his mop? No, we would spin
roll the
wheel of failure and see what would happen.
And hopefully it happens so that our viewers can witness it, because the wheel of failure is a really fun thing.
We haven't actually rolled any ones in combat
yet.
No
ones. The only one that I've rolled was on
a skill check.
A skill check, yep.
So
he's actually been rolling fairly decently in combat.
So it's your turn,
all right,
and you attack.
No, I was the minion should be a single action power.
Yeah.
So he is going to... He is going to use that, so he's going to subtract...
Your minion has flown all the way over there. Just use this.
His minion...
We don't want to lose that D4 because it was your very first D4.
Yeah. I'm not sure why it was over here, but I was using it. And...
I put it there because your fists are D4. And I figured it was appropriate.
Oh, okay. He puts the minion right here. Right here, where the zombie can... right here, where the zombie can see it. He puts it right there, and then he attacks this guy. The one next to him.
All right.
And again, a 13.
That is a hit. So
And
roll damage.
he got 10 points of damage.
Describe how you kill him.
And he again thumps it in the head with the mattock.
Killing the zombie.
And that's all he does. That's his. He can't move anywhere. That's both of his actions.
All right. Next up is
he's hoping that minion will take some of the attention off of his friend there.
It does actually. It suddenly appears and that zombie goes. I just rolled to see if that would happen. Although he makes an attack against your minion, he is going to definitely kill it.
But it takes
he definitely kills it.
It takes an attack away from that could have been used against his buddy.
Although the other one rolled a natural 20. Sodell is now clawed up. He's scratched. He is not looking good. Sodell looks like he's in major trouble. Next up, he ran up and hit that one zombie. That's this zombie right here. Okay, good. Next up is Sodell. He makes his attack. He does hit using his power one more time. He can only power it twice. He's not as powerful as you. Ooh, gets full damage and kills both of those guys. So wipe them all away. He got full damage.
How long does the minion last until it got destroyed?
Wait, hold on.
I think it got destroyed.
No, it was 15. They had 15 health. So the one is dead. Put one of them back. The one next to the minion.
Okay.
Okay. That one's still up, but it does look like it's hurting. So, yeah. You may want to, go save your friend. Because he's definitely hurting.
That's what he's planning on doing. He ran out of...
Those two zombies just kind of stay there. The other zombie stays where he is.
He's still trying to figure out where she went to.
Yeah, he's like, what? Huh?
Does this one move any?
Move him 2 spaces. Yeah. Yeah, right there. And that's all he does. He hasn't spotted anybody yet.
Right.
The other ones there are just looking.
They're still
and top of the round.
And this time he got a 13 for his initiative.
Alright, that blue zombie has rolled high. It goes first. This might be the end of Sodell. This is a commoner campaign. Sodell might die here. Sodell might die. Sodell, it lives. And you can and I'm going to have you double check that. Is that a 5 I just rolled?
That is a 5 you just rolled.
Sodell is missed by the attack.
Who is next?
Next up is Sodell, who will make an attack. Rolled low again. So they just kind of... He attacks, dodges, attacks back with his mop. Nothing. Now it's your turn.
I go over here and I attack this zombie.
Alright.
Is the minion destroyed?
The minion got destroyed.
Okay, so the minion is gone.
Yep.
I attack that zombie. And he's not going to hit. He rolled very badly. Not a 1, but very badly.
Alright. What did he roll?
A 6.
A 6? Yeah, that's not a hit. Well, yeah, you had to move there. You do have action points.
Yeah. He'll use an action point and make another attack. Much better that time. That time he rolled a 16.
A 16, that is definitely a hit. Roll for damage.
And his damage was an 8, so 10 points.
10 points. Describe how you kill him.
And he swings the mattock. And he's been headhunting. He's been going for their heads. And he puts the mattock through its temple. He's getting confident that he's actually getting good at this.
He might actually be a hero. Funny that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now it's the fresh zombie. He turns around and runs at you guys. Use his full movement to get to you.
What is his full movement? 6?
6 each. So 12 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4,
He gets
5.
there.
He gets 5, and he's actually going to make an attack on Sodell because you put him in front of him. You must want Sodell to die.
I'll put him in front of me.
Put him in front of you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So he attacks you, but he takes a -5 to his run and attack. That is a miss. Because I can see your armor over there.
Mm-hmm.
That is a miss. And that is everybody's go.
Top of the round.
Top of the round.
And that time he got a 9.
A 9.
His initiative is going down. Little by little each time.
Okay, so first up is Sodell, who's going to... The zombies engage with him, so he's going to make a beeline. So he takes a 5-foot step, corner step this way, away from the zombie, and then bolts for the door. 6. Make one more 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. He's left you.
I see that. Not the fresh zombie, but the normal zombie takes 2 steps that way. Back?
Yep. 1, 2.
He's just aimlessly wandering around.
Now it's your turn.
Alright, and
then it's the fresh zombies.
And I am going to... He's going to use his Desperate Strike on the fresh zombie. So he's down to 5 power points left.
Alright.
And
you know what I just realized?
He rolls very well.
The fresh zombie actually... You know what? It's one of those moments where you mess up and you accidentally almost kill people. Because I messed up. My notes for the normal zombies was they had 10 health points. So the blue one should have got killed. But whatever.
It's
I give him an extra.
He survived. If he'd have died, then it would have mattered. It would have mattered.
So...
And he gets a 20 on his 2 hit.
A 20 on his 2 hit. That is a hit. So roll for damage.
And he did 20 points of damage.
Describe how you kill the fresh zombie. You've just been blowing through here.
He rolled a natural 18 and a natural 9 on his 2 hit and damage. So he's rolling well when it counts. And so he actually knocks its head off with the Matic.
Nice. It goes spinning. Blood goes everywhere. And at this point...
And I now notice for the first time that I'm alone again.
Yep, he's gone through the door. Just move him out of the way. You are now alone, technically, because you don't see the other zombies. Let's just put it this way. Tim, you have now... There's only one more fresh zombie in the place. So we can now... We're basically at the end of the one-shot. But there's still some story to go, and there's a little bit of a fun bonus to go. So, my question to you is this. Do you now spend your next 2 hours just walking around killing everything else in the place? Because you can easily do it just by yourself.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
He's gotten confidence. Suddenly he thinks he's a major badass.
Alright. Because I don't like the idea of bogging down the game with needless
combat.
With literally only 4 more zombies on the battlefield. Because I only had a set number.
And one more fresh zombie.
And one more fresh zombie. I'm going to allow you to do a skill check. To basically find the first zombie. Otherwise, he might come in. So, do you find and kill the fresh zombie? I'll say you kill everybody else in
What
here.
is this skill check use?
The skill check uses your strength.
Not very good, but...
Actually, no. You're trying to hunt down the last zombie. Wisdom.
Wisdom, okay, so that's his best. 18 total.
18. You successfully find and track down and kill the last fresh zombie, who was in the kitchen.
Okay. And where did these guys end up?
They end up over here. And let's get the camera.
In here?
Yep. You've successfully killed all zombies on the map, and I'll leave it up to everybody else if you get a hero point for that, but we're basically no more combat's going to happen unless someone is stupid. You come in, and there is a table, a raised table, big, like, operation, and a big metal looking table with lots of dissection tools here. There's a door marked that way saying Rot Shack Storage. And over here it says offices. In here you also see a new dwarf. The other two are yelling at him. She's looking... Libash is kind of like fussing at him. And Sodell is really hurt, but you can tell if he wasn't in such pain, he would be fussing at the other guy too. I mean, like, when I say fuss, I mean, like, they're outright accusing him of basically what happened here.
How long did it take me to track down and kill all the other zombies?
An hour.
So during that span of time, while they were in there, do they figure that I've met my demise since they left me alone? There's been no
Absolutely
sign of...
not. Libash and Sodell have absolutely no worries that you were able to just doom your way through everything.
And then I come through the door, looking very calm, suddenly very
blood
confident,
is all over
very cocky, in fact. and I look at them and say, "Your outpost is now officially zombie free."
She looks at you.
And I've got to pee, so now
All
you
right.
have to figure out. Now you have to keep the camera occupied for a couple of minutes.
I do, I guess. I do. Sure, give him a hero point. You get a hero point.
Awesome, thank you guys.
Everybody likes Sodell. Rabbit fan loves Sodell. I like Sodell too. Sodell's cool. I like our little guy. But now I am in control, and now I'm at the thing. Now I'm going to tell you, audience, a little secret. Over here, in this cell, there's a were-llama. Now here's the thing. If he pulls this lever, the were-llama is going to come out and combat will begin one more time. And the were-llama has 25 hit points. What was the were-llama doing there? You'll have to find out. But, now that that's over with, do you want to meet Bob? It's Halloween time. And once again, I want to thank Kruggsmashs. Go check out his channel down below. I would love to thank Kruggsmashs for really inspiring me. He did not really have anything else other to do with this campaign other than the pure inspiration of this campaign with his most recent. So I recommend going and checking out his channel. He's a great YouTuber. I love his stuff. I watch him all the time. And of course, there's our channel as well. Check out our other videos. We're going to be doing the Fifth Realm Fallen Star next week. After Halloween, of course. And if you want, please support our Patreon. It's only $1 to support us, and you get to be put down there right here. See my arm's like, you get put right there. Yeah, see, I put that thing in like the perfect spot to be pointed at. You put, for just $1, you get your name put there, and you also can get like one of the random NPCs to have your name as well, by random chance. So, if you want, please support us on Patreon for $1 a month. Do not feel obligated to do so if you are tight on funds. We want people to be able to purchase food.
Plus, we try to put cool things up on the Patreon.
Yeah, we tend to put cool stuff on
monsters, items.
Yeah, some fun stuff.
I mean,
not recently though, but like we.
But there are some things on there though.
Oh yeah, already on there.
There are some rather interesting monsters on there. There is one particularly interesting item on there.
Yeah, a skull, in fact. So I would go check it out. It's fun. It's nice. And without further ado, are we beginning again?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so.
And I have an idea, and I don't want. I'll tell you about it off the live
stream.
Yep.
So, okay. You arrive, and they just go. You see Sodell say, "Excellent. Now kill this guy here. Kill him for us too." And Sodell is saying this, and Lybash is going, this disgrace to the All-Father's name. I knew we could not have trusted him. And you see the dwarf kind of like putting up his hands. He looks kind of like, for lack of better words, early scientist. Mm-hmm. He doesn't look like a scientist, but like he looks like your early idea of a scientist. He's much more clean-cut than the other dwarfs. He has like little tiny half-moon glasses. He looks at them all and he goes, listen. I did what I did because they were thinking about not bringing the research back to the High Council. She sighs and she goes, Sodell, he's right. If Tristel was honestly thinking about not taking this back to the High Council, but what he did to us, she feels conflicted. What do? You just walked in on this.
I look and I lean on the mattock and I clear my throat and again say louder.
Like they acknowledged you.
Oh, okay, they did acknowledge me.
Sodell said kill him. She said not until he explains himself.
And then
I say conflicted.
I say, okay, now I don't kill anybody without a reason. Zombies and eight-eyed freaks automatically give me a reason to kill them. Says, what is my reason to kill a fellow dwarf?
Sodell points at him and say, he's the one that poisoned Tristel. He's the one that caused the zombies to come out. And Rakust raises his hands and he goes, I did it for the good of Hingariva.
And I say, that.
What's your will?
His will is 12.
You are free to do with what he said up to you.
Okay.
It wasn't a power. He was just trying to deceive.
I say, that brings me to an interesting point. In what way are flesh-eating zombies and eight-eyed dwarven monsters in the best interest of our people?
He looks at you, and he goes, they already told me about you, Bomrek.
He nods and says, yes, I know. He says, great.
Then you already know that your father's word is law with the council. They said to bring the research back once their envoy came to collect it. You have come. We are leaving.
I say we are leaving.
He goes, yes. Sodell goes, we are, you aren't, to Rakust.
And I step into the middle of them. And I say, again, I ask, in what way are zombies and monsters a benefit to our people? I'm talking to Rakis. Specifically talking to Rakis.
Okay, he's really bad at lying, apparently. He says...
I'm trying to intimidate him a little bit, too. I'm sort of sauntering.
Roll for intimidation. He fails to try to do his next deceit.
What should I use? He doesn't have...
Well, bully. Use bully. You're trying to bully him.
All right, so he will try to bully him.
You may not have the skill, but...
Well, he didn't roll a natural 20, so he doesn't pick up the skill. He gets a 17.
You successfully bully him. Describe how you bully him into telling you the truth about why.
I pick the mattock up and tip it onto my shoulder, and I kind of saunter over to him. How big is he in comparison? Because I'm not.
He's shorter than. Oh, you're not as big.
I'm not.
Okay.
Remember, I'm short and fat by dwarf standards.
He's pretty tall and lanky.
Right, but I've got this big mattock on my shoulder. It's still got zombie goo all over. I turn it so that the point with all the zombie goo is facing in his direction, and I saunter over towards him and say, "Why are zombies and monsters in the best interest of my people?" Now they're my people. I say, "And why? Give me one very good reason why I shouldn't do what the pretty lady there tells me I should do, which is
Sodell.
Kill you.
Sodell's the guy.
Yeah, who told me to kill her?
Sodell.
Oh, I thought she told me to kill him.
No, Liebash is undecided. She's in the camp of don't kill him.
I say, so why should I not do what my good friend with the mop there has told me that I should do, namely split your head like a zombie's?
He goes, he's too busy stammering. That just scared the crap out of him. You successfully bullied him, and the most you get out of him is a very truthful.
I can
because you ask him, why shouldn't I kill you? He has absolutely no idea why you should not kill him right now.
I'm standing in front. I continue standing in front of him, and now I'm casually wiping gore off the mattock and tossing it. And I say, I'm waiting. He says, I'm waiting for the truth.
Liebash turns to you, and she raises a hand. She goes, because he needs to face the council. We do not kill our own. He must face justice.
I nod. I say, I agree. I look back towards him and say, now, again I ask, why are zombies and monsters in the best interest of my people? He says, why would anyone in the High Council think that Tristans are something that we want to have in our kingdom?
Because the Empire of Nith might discover us, and that new Kingdom of Zel. Remember, this is 852, so the Kingdom of Gornux is not around yet,
and the Blight of Gaul
is not around yet. But right now, they consider the Empire of Nith and the Queen of Zel's alliance to maybe be a threat. If they discover that they are tunneling out giant roads underneath all of them, connecting them all. They don't know this yet. This is actually something that will affect the Fifth Realm, and if you play a dwarf character or somebody who understands, there's actually going to be two maps. There's going to be the map of the world above, and then a map of the high roads below of Hingariva. He goes, if they are to discover our roads, then they might try to use them against each other and try to overtake us.
I nod. I say,
we just want to dig.
He's gonna. Remember, he's not the brightest guy. I'm suddenly making him smart. Getting back into character. Well, he's staying smart. He rolled a natural 19.
Hey! Even this everything on the sheet is just a number.
Yep, he's staying smart. And I say, that's a good point. I tap the mattock and say, that's a really good point. So the Empire of Nith poses a distinct threat to us. I nod at my two compatriots, say, very distinct threat. Said they could find us, they could harm our people. I say, this Queendom of Zel, you call them?
Yeah, they're new.
I
and
say,
you
you
will have probably heard about them.
Yeah, I say, I've heard. So I said, they probably pose a threat. And I look at the scientist and I say, but having a whole bunch of Tristans running around inside of our kingdom eating people, if they're webbing people up and eating them, that wouldn't be any kind of a threat whatsoever to us. Not at all. That'd be great.
Not a threat to us, but a threat to them. if we were to set this distilled rock shat, or make us even more powerful using the distilled rock shat.
Then I say, let's just see if he...
Rock shat.
Oh, he's still staying smart? And I say, so, I say you and Tristan were buddies, right? Say you were out with him while he was webbing people up and eating them and stuff. You were going around and perfectly safe around the fellow, right? Or were you hiding in here?
He sighs. He goes, I used an older vial of distilled rot shack. I was hoping to open his eyes, but instead, it turns out that rot shack over time becomes undistilled. You have to take it within a certain amount of time. But
so you're saying
my plan went horribly wrong.
So you're saying that having a whole bunch of these 8-eyed guys running around in I'm having a hard. Oh, I need to have it written down in front of me. Running around in Hungariva, that they're not going to that they're suddenly going to have appetites for mushrooms like we have, and they're not going to be interested in webbing our people up and eating them and devouring them.
Make a perception check.
Oh, he's still rolling well. He got a 18.
He's definitely moving towards this lever that's on the wall.
Right. So do I? I go and I put the mattock right out in front of you between him and the lever, and place it against the wall.
He was kind of like sidestepping,
so that the gore side is facing him. I say that's not an appropriate idea.
He goes, well, regardless, we need to bring back the only test subject we've had who's been able to survive Rot Shack.
I say, well, you still haven't explained to me why having a whole bunch of Tristans running around webbing people up and eating them, you haven't convinced me that that's a good idea, and you still haven't completely convinced me that my friend with the mops here idea about splitting your head is not a really good idea.
So Dell is nodding, but you hear Libash walk up, and she basically steps between you and Rakust. She holds up a hand to you, and she goes, he will face justice. That is why we will not kill him.
Let's see how smart he is. He has rolled 3 straight 19s on his smarts. On his smarts rolls. 3 straight 19s on his smarts rolls. I look at her and I say, a dwarven mattock is dwarven justice, and I am thinking that if the 3 of us go back to the council empty-handed with no explanation for this orange goo and the Tristans and the zombies, that would be a much better ending to this than for us to go back, because she
just rolled deception on you, and she rolled a natural 20. What she is about to say, you believe every word in your ounce. She goes, she basically says, then we will cut his tongue out. And no one will learn how to distill Rock Shack.
I say, because he's the only one that knows how to do it, right? I'm nodding as I say that. She
nods.
Suddenly feeling enlightened, because he's completely forgotten that she knows how to do it, too.
Yep, and he totally forgot, because his intelligence is not very high, that people can write. Let's see if he likes this idea. Oh shit, he's actually going to go with the idea.
Who, the guy that's going to get his tongue cut out?
Tongue cut out. He nods and he goes, if it allows me to live, that is fine with me. But we do need to bring our test subject.
I say, so much for the 19s. And I look and I say, yeah, you're right. We probably do need to bring the test subject. Then 3 straight 19s and then a 1.
I will say this, though. You're starting to not feel good. You've forgotten something.
The antidote.
The antidote. And right now, the only two people who could make you an antidote probably won't. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Let's make a wisdom check. Let's see if you remember the antidote. Because at this point, they are definitely not going to help you make that antidote. And make a wisdom check.
Means that this scientist...
Do you remember... A, do you remember that you need an antidote? And B, how much longer do you have? Because do you know how much longer you have? Because I have the number. I've been keeping track.
Yeah,
For those at home, probably are keeping track.
He has completely forgotten about the antidote.
He's completely forgotten
all of those beautiful rolls he was getting for his intelligence have just gone away.
All right.
He has completely forgotten that he's even been infected.
I will say this, Tim. This is a one-shot. Are you tied to this character now? Because
Actually, I'm thinking it shouldn't be a one-shot. That's part of the idea I wanted to throw at you.
All right. Well, here's the thing. If he succumbs to the rot shack, he's going to be a mindless zombie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way you're going to get home in 4 hours. Mm-hmm. He's going to turn into a zombie on the drive. Is this something you're okay with this character befalling this character?
No.
No?
I think that the scientist, at this point, would probably see a chance to endear himself with this dwarven hero who has been threatening him and is the only thing standing between him and these two people that are thinking of killing him.
True.
And he might bring up, you need the antidote. I have the antidote. I'll give you the antidote.
That's a good point. I did not think about that. That's a really good point.
Because remember, these two one wants to kill him outright. The other one wants to have him tried and killed. The only thing that can save his life at this point is me.
He points. You see Rakust.
Because he doesn't realize.
He doesn't realize
that I'm essentially allowed at heart. He thinks I am a great hero.
He points at you and he goes, "I will say this though, if you don't cut out my tongue, I will give you the antidote." And you see Sodell kind of hit his head. He goes, "Right, the antidote."
And then I look and go, "Antidote? Oh, that's right. That's right." He says, "No." He says, "You need to keep your tongue."
You see Sodell just kind of sigh. He goes, "I think this is a stupid idea."
I say, what? Giving me the antidote is
giving you the antidote's a good idea, but letting him live is a bad idea afterwards. But if we don't let him live, I hate this. You just see Sodell kind of go, "I hate this." He walks out. He just walks out because he's just been outplayed. That's a good point. Rakust did that.
Mm.
So Rakust offers to make you the antidote. Do you accept?
I take him up on the offer.
He gives you the antidote. His other option was to set the were-llama on you.
Mm.
There's a were-llama in the one cell.
Okay.
But basically speaking, after he gives you the antidote and you have been endeared to him, you guys, after peeping your head up above ground and seeing that it's no longer raining the orange goo from the sky, they basically say we should probably leave. Do you decide to go grab the were-llama?
He's forgotten about the were-llama.
Okay. The were-llama is there until the end of time, until somebody lets him out. The were form in this world is kind of like unlife. You live forever. The only downside is that character's now stuck in there, like, for the end of time.
And
because in reality, he was just hoping to have the were-llama set upon you and then run.
Right. So is this the end of our...
I think that is the end of our little story here.
Well, so now I'm going to throw my pitch at you.
All right.
This is not a one-shot.
Not a one-shot.
We're going to continue on our off nights with this character. Next time, you will be playing this character, Bomrak, with a new adventure.
I like the idea.
This preconceived character And now you have to see what you can do with it.
All right.
I think that's good.
I like the idea, although that requires me to set up everything every week. Hold on. We'll do this. If you want to see more adventures of Bomb Wreck, tell us down in the comments. And in 2 weeks' time, I'll take a look and either set it up or not.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll leave it up
to the
audience.
So if you want to learn more about Bomb Wreck and what happens next, just ask. But this is definitely way before the time of the current stream. So
yeah, it'll stay on this timeline. And
thank you very much for coming to watch. I'm actually taking a look at my phone to see who's currently there still. Thank you very much to Rabbit Fangirl. Thank you very much, Jane, for moderating the chat. And thank you everybody else who watches this in the future. We love your faces. And thanks again to Kruggsmashs one more time for his game inspiring this craziness that we had. And we hope it was very Halloween-y. Zombies and Tristel and all that. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next time. Ray, we'll say Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween!
Bye-bye!